Imagine waking up at the crack of dawn to the sound of gravel crunching under cop boots, your grandpa's old tent flapping in the breeze, and some self-appointed neighborhood overlord screeching about illegal camping, like you're pitching a meth lab in her rose garden. That's me, standing there in my boxers, deed in hand, while Karen, Patricia Patty Whitmore, HOA president extraordinaire, taps her manicured nails on her iPad, directing the deputies like she's conducting a symphony of petty tyranny. Little did she know, her peaceful community had been playing fast and loose with my family's land for a decade and a half, and I was about to turn her rulebook empire into a punchline. My name's Mike Stevens, and I've always been the quiet type, the guy who waves at neighbors, minds his own business, and doesn't make waves. But after my messy divorce and getting laid off from that soul-sucking corporate gig, I needed solace. That's where Grandpa's lake came in. He bought those 47 acres back in '52 with his GI Bill money, a World War II vet who turned a patch of wilderness into our family's sacred ground. Crystal clear water, miles of shoreline teeming with bass, and that stone fire pit he built rock by rock. Every summer, we'd camp there, him teaching me to fish off the hand-built dock, pointing out the ancient survey markers on those gnarled oaks. "This land's our anchor, Mike," he'd say, his voice gravelly from years of stories around the flames. After everything fell apart last year, those camping weekends were my reset button. The wood smoke curling up, loons calling at dawn, dew soaking my feet, kept me from unraveling. Next door sat Lakeside Estates, this uppity HOA subdivision slapped together in 2008. Multimillion-dollar McMansions with lawns mowed to military precision. Rumor had it residents actually used rulers to check grass height. I'd always gotten along with them. A nod here, small talk about the weather there. That is, until Patty got elected president. 52, real estate agent by day, power-tripping enforcer by night. She drove a gleaming white BMW X5, fined folks for unapproved holiday lights, and snapped violation pics in her Lululemon gear like a tabloid paparazzo. One time, she slapped a warning on a guy's mailbox for being 3 degrees off plumb. 3 degrees. I should have seen the red flags when she started pacing our shared fence with a measuring tape, lips pursed like she was auditing the universe. It all kicked off one Friday evening. I pulled up for my usual 3-day retreat, pitching Grandpa's canvas tent in the same spot we'd used forever. 50 yards from the water, fire pit crackling. No big deal. Done it 100 times. But come 6 a.m. Saturday, bam. Patty marches up with 2 sheriff's deputies, her voice piercing the mist like a bad alarm clock. "Officers, that's him. Illegal camping in a residential zone. Disturbing our community's peace." She's got her iPad out, probably with some HOA bylaw pulled up, tapping away like it's Exhibit A in her personal courtroom. I stumble out, deed clutched like a shield. "This is my land, folks. Inherited it fair and square. 47 acres, water rights included." The deputies shift uncomfortably. One, Deputy Ramirez, mutters, "Sir, we're just responding to the call." Looks civil to me, but Patty's not having it. This isn't a trailer park. He's devaluing our properties with his vagabond setup. She waves at my tent like it's a biohazard. The cops apologize but make me pack up anyway, while a gaggle of HOA busybodies sip coffee from their decks, gawking like it's prime-time entertainment. As I load the truck, Patty smirks. "Next time, think about respecting the community standards, Mr. Stevens." Oh, the irony, her community had no clue they were the real squatters. Humiliation stung like hell, worse than the grease burn from breakfast. But instead of exploding, I stewed. I'd heard whispers about me before, post-divorce rumors that I was unstable, reclusive. I let it slide, observing from the sidelines. That Monday, a certified letter hits my mailbox. County Code Enforcement, courtesy of Patty. Unpermitted campground operation. $500 daily fine until corrected. For camping on my own damn land? That lit the fuse. I headed to the courthouse, that musty brick beast smelling of wax and red tape. Down in the basement records, I meet Dolores, the clerk, a sweet old soul who perks up at Grandpa's name. Robert Stevens? That man surveyed half the county, sharp as a tack. We unfold the 1919 survey, yellowed and crackling. Dolores points to a faded line. Your boundary pushes east farther than folks think, overlaying it with modern maps. Jackpot. The HOA's exclusive beach, gazebo, boat launch, all on my 2.3 acres. They'd built their fancy perks on my waterfront, trespassing for 15 years. Subdivisions screw up in '07, Dolores whispers. Or maybe they figured no one'd notice. I photocopy everything, pulse racing. Adverse possession? Yeah, that's the legal trap where squatters can claim your land after years of open use, but only if you don't object. My family's camping photos and Grandpa's 1987 resurvey reset that clock. Buried treasure, all right. That evening, I call Harold Jenkins, Grandpa's old surveyor buddy who, get this, lives in Lakeside Estates now. Mike, if this checks out, it's bigger than your tent. Crunching gravel home, it felt like wheels of justice turning. 2 days later, another letter. Cease and desist from Patty's lawyer, threatening suits for harassing residents. Fancy paper, empty threats. But she'd called an emergency HOA meeting, dealing with problem neighbors. Uninvited, I crash it anyway. The clubhouse is jammed, 47 residents in a room for 30, reeking of burnt coffee and donuts. Patty's up front with a PowerPoint, protecting our investment. Slides of my messy campsite flash by. This individual is exploiting a loophole to steal our amenities. We've poured hundreds of thousands into them. Murmurs ripple. He'll charge rent for our beach. She proposes an $8,000 per house assessment for legal defense. I stand. Excuse me? You're on my land. I slap down document packets, copies for all. 1919 survey overlays show your beach, gazebo, launch, all mine. Faces shift from smug to stunned. Papers rustle like a storm. Harold rises. Let me see. He pores over them. Legit. Major boundary error from development. He offers free GPS verification. Patty pales. Fabricated nonsense. Harold, you're siding with him. Harold snaps. With facts, Patty. Meeting dissolves into chaos. 3 residents approach. Linda whispers, Patty's shady, had my own run-in. Bob adds, no proper surveys on our lots. Jim, an old vet, grips my hand. Knew your grandpa from VFW. His words gold. Walking out, car doors slam, community fracturing. For once, I wasn't alone. Patty's backlash? Nuclear. Within days, she sicks city council on me for zoning violations, reports me to IRS for unreported camping income, and tanks my woodworking business. Clients bail after tips, I'm unstable. Inspector shows up mid-camp. Commercial campground. No permit. $500 a day. Patty's fingerprints everywhere. But Harold arrives with GPS gear, beeping like sci-fi. With Linda and Bob, fed up with her dictatorship, we trek boundaries. Fresh grass scent mixes with dug earth. Findings? Worse. 2.7 acres of HOA common area mine. Twist. Grandpa's deed has perpetual easement, permanent crossing rights. Linda notes, Patty knew since 19 board meeting, she said, resolved. Bob grimaces. She nixed new surveys as wasteful. Harold's report, rock solid. Phone buzzes. Drop it or regret. Burner number, Patty's vibe. Linda calls. She's panicking. Admitted cheaper to fight than move stuff. Secret photos of minutes. Crucial evidence. Stakes rise, not just camping, but corruption. 3 days post-survey, Linda whispers from a parking lot. Emergency meeting bombshell. She'd recorded sessions since her spat. Patty confessed. HOA borrowed $340,000 against my land for clubhouse reno. Collateral they didn't own. Mug clatters. More. Patty's brother-in-law developed Lakeside. New boundaries from jump. Hid for profits. Fraud web, developer, board, maybe officials. Bob's pics of 19 minutes. Discrepancy noted. Cheaper fight. Suppressed survey. 4-1 vote. They'd covered for 6 years. Harold's wife audits finances. Devastating. $73,000 embezzled. Fake invoices. Personal splurges as community expenses. Patty escalates. Social media smears. Calling my camp vagrant threat. Fake reviews tank my biz. Shoddy, unreliable. Clients flee. But cameras catch her at 2 a.m. Spray painting fraud on my fence. Gold evidence. Sarah Chin, my lawyer, files restraining order. I document all threats. Vandalism. Harold shows receipts. HOA funds for her vacations. Bob reports. 3 board members want settlement, but she threatens suits. Recordings. Patty rants. Destroy Stevens. We have lawyers, money, counsel. Lie bills from reserves, unauthorized. Neighbors spot her pacing boundaries at odd hours. Remeasuring like denial's a tool. I camp on. Cameras rolling peaceful vibes versus her madness. With smoke drifts, a 70-year reminder. Linda. Board voted $20,000 for PI on you. HOA cash stalking me for tenting. Pushed her over edge. Patty's endgame. Convinces 18 loyalists to countersue. Me. Stealing homes via technicalities. Irony chokes. Demands I pay damages. Hire City Shark with $20,000 retainer from reserves. Backfire. Public filing exposes spending. Linda rallies 43 in parking lot. She's betting our futures on lies. Exhaust fumes, anger. Harold crunches. $15,000 to $25,000 assessments if lost. Twist. PI quits after 2 weeks. Report. Stevens law-abiding owner. Even her higher sides with me. Criminal probe heats. Sarah files with DA fraud, conspiracy. Patty unravels. Pacing 3 a.m., yelling at ghosts. Daily City Hall pleas. Smear intensifies, but camera vid of her vandalism goes viral. HOA pres spray paints, fraud, on stolen land. Boards resign. HOA crumbles. Agents warn buyers. Values tank. Families flee. Sarah finds. Funds diverted from essentials for her war, wholesale fraud. Linda intercepts call. Patty screams at brother-in-law. You promised cover up. Conspiracy cracks. DA calls. Charges ready, embezzlement. Fraud. Grand jury soon. Dockside. Moonlight dances. Victory breezes. City council chambers overflow. 100 plus crammed. News crews buzzing. Disinfectant. Nerves. I sit back with team. Patty fronts with 18 grim loyalists. Mayor calls order. Lakeside dispute. Patty podiums, voice shaky. Our community's attacked by an outsider stealing homes via loopholes. Slides. Kids on their beach, elders at gazebo. Tears. He's robbing families' savings. Crowd murmurs till my turn. I lay survey. Reclaiming my family's 70-year land. Sarah presents. Docs. GPS. Precedents. Harold details. Bombshell. $73,000 embezzled. Room erupts. Sarah shows checks. Your signatures, Patty. She jumps. Fabricated attack. Second. Linda testifies. Plays recording. New issues 19. Voted suppress. Cheaper fight. Buzz turns angry. Patty whitens. Mic drop. Offered $150,000 easement months ago. Keep amenities. She chose harassment. Silence. All I wanted. Peaceful camp. Grandpa's legacy. DA investigator rises. Whitmore. Arrested for embezzlement. Fraud. Cuffs click. Cameras roll. Supporters stun. Harold. Board accepts settlement. Apologizes. Applause thunders. Mayor gavels. Carried. Out. Handshakes. Grandpa's voice. Right's worth it. 6 months on. Fire pits communal. Harold teaches knots. Linda grills. Laughter echoes. Patty pleads guilty. 18 months probation. Restitution. New board. Transparent. Term limits. Values rise. $150,000 expands biz. Funds vet scholarships. Lakes Festival Hub. Fishing. Stories. Crafts. Sarah's practice booms. HOA abuse cases. Conservation. 20 acres protected. Trails accessible. Bob's watch builds bonds. Linda's coffees foster talk. Media. Speeches. Doku. Case study. Personal. Dating Kate. Community organizer. Camps richer, friends join, stars above. Takeaways. Resurvey boundaries decade LY. Demand HOA audits. Backup docs. Gym visits. Grandpa said lakes for respecters. You honored it. Water laps peaceful. Kids fish old dock. $150,000 healed more than land. So, was Patty the real disturber of peace? Or do HOAs like hers protect communities? Drop your take below. Who's the villain here? Really?